Hi, my name is Hugh Burton, and this is my personal experience speech, and this is my audience. My most embarrassing moment was when I went with some friends to Spain last summer, and I left my U.S. passport here in the States, and I almost wasn't allowed to come back in to the States. Um, it all started when my parents decided to let me go to Spain with three of my friends, and while I was packing and figuring out my passport situation, um, we were deciding whether or not I should take my British or my U.S. passport. I have a British passport because my dad is from England, and me and my sister were able to get dual citizenship. So after talking to my dad, we discussed that since Spain and England are both part of the European Union, using my British passport would make travel easier going to the airport. And so I was just planning on taking my British passport. Luckily, my mom made a copy of my U.S. passport before I left, so I could take that as well. The trip was great. On the way back, when I checked into Madrid, everything was at the Madrid airport. Everything was fine. My British passport worked just fine. Um, and then I had a connecting flight in England, and when I got to England to check in to my other flight, they informed me at the American Airlines desk that my British passport wasn't working, and that I had to. Then they took me and sat me down over to the side of the counter, and I had to wait for U.S. Homeland Security. I was told that the British passports now have a microchip in them that all the citizens of the UK have, and mine did not have that, so that's why it wasn't working. So I had to wait and talk to Homeland Security, and they told me that the U.S. does not recognize dual citizenship, which I did not know before I left. But um, that's why they were talking to me because I was trying to go back to the United States as a U.S. citizen, but I only have my British passport. So I showed the man a copy of my U.S. passport. It took about an hour and a half, and everything finally got cleared up. And I thought that was the worst of my troubles. But then when I landed in Dallas, I was going through customs and I got stopped again because I only had my British passport. So they took me to a room. I guess I was technically detained um, by Homeland Security, and I was in a room with people that had been known drug smugglers, had done 25 years in prison, um, and I was there for about an hour and a half again, and finally got everything cleared up. But it was embarrassing because I left the U.S. Left the country without my U.S. passport, which I guess if I had any common sense I wouldn't have done, but I wasn't thinking about it. So it's just embarrassing that I tried to get back in with no U.S. passport, and I almost got stuck in England and almost wasn't able to come back.